Breaking news! The Miami Dolphins are heading into a critical matchup, and concerns surrounding the team's offensive strategy and injuries are roiling head coach Mike McDaniel's peace of mind. I'll tell you everything that's going on, but first make sure you've hit the like button if you've been a Dolphins fan for over 20 years. There are some people here who were at the first game. Trust me, my friends, better days are ahead. I want to start with the most pressing issues facing the Dolphins right now, starting with a comprehensive update on the team's injury report. Wide receiver Jalen Waddle and star Tyreek Hill are both dealing with injuries that have put their availability in doubt. Waddle is nursing a knee injury, while Hill is limited by a wrist issue, aggravated by personal reasons that led to a questionable designation for Sunday's game. This situation is especially precarious since the Dolphins only have two fully healthy receivers on their 53-man roster, Cedric Wilson Jr. and River Crocraft. That means the team may need to elevate practice squad players like Isaiah McKenzie, D. Eskridge, or Tarek Black to fill the gaps. The injury to Hill has reportedly been bothering him for months, and despite his insistence on playing through it, his production has visibly dipped this season. The uncertainty surrounding these key players creates an immense challenge for quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and the rest of the offense. Left tackle Terron Armstead, who missed the Texans game after a knee injury, expressed optimism about his return, but his comments about his body shutting down rather than dealing with pain point to potential long-term concerns about his future in the league. Meanwhile, Kendall Lamb appears to be on track to play after participating fully in Friday's practice. Head coach Mike McDaniel faces mounting pressure to adapt his offensive system to overcome these challenges. The intricate play calling, heavy use of motion, and pre-snap choreography that define McDaniel's style have raised questions about their effectiveness against top-tier teams. Recent games have exposed vulnerabilities, with opponents like the Texans and Chiefs appearing to anticipate the Dolphins' plays. DeMeco Ryans, a former colleague of McDaniel, was notably able to call out plays before they unfolded, highlighting the predictability of the offense. This predictability is particularly concerning as the Dolphins face the San Francisco 49ers, whose defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks, is highly familiar with McDaniel's system. Statistics further underscore the issue. The Dolphins lead the league in pre-snap penalties, with 7 illegal formations, 2 illegal motions, and 5 illegal shifts. The offense relies heavily on pre-snap motion, using it on 76.8% of pass plays, the highest in the league, but this strategy seems to be causing more confusion than benefits, particularly against well-coached defenses. These penalties and delays have disrupted the team's rhythm, often leaving Tua with insufficient time to assess the defense and make necessary adjustments before the snap. Tua, for his part, has shown resilience in navigating these challenges. His ability to read defenses and make quick decisions has been impressive, but the demands of McDaniel's complex system may be pushing him to his limits. The combination of intricate motions, quick decisions, and last-second adjustments has left little room for error. There's also the question of whether McDaniel's dual role as head coach and offensive coordinator is contributing to these issues. Critics argue that his responsibilities as head coach may be detracting from his ability to focus on fine-tuning the offense. The situation has sparked broader discussions among fans and analysts about the team's direction. Should McDaniel delegate offensive play-calling duties to focus on head coaching responsibilities? Is the team's offensive philosophy sustainable in the long run, or does it require significant adjustments to remain competitive against top teams? These are the questions the Dolphins must grapple with as they aim to secure a playoff spot. What do you think about the state of the Dolphins' offense and their prospects for the rest of the season? Share your thoughts below. This is a conversation worth having. Adding to the complexity of the situation, the Miami Dolphins' offensive line is under intense scrutiny. Injuries have plagued key players, leaving Tua Tagovailoa frequently under duress. While Kendall Lamb's potential return is a positive development, the absence of Terron Armstead, even if temporary, has exposed weaknesses in the line's depth. This has forced McDaniel to adjust his protection schemes, often requiring running backs and tight ends to stay back and block rather than contribute as pass-catching options. These changes have had a ripple effect on the offense's ability to stretch the field, further compounding their struggles against elite defenses. The ripple effects are also evident in the running game. Raheem Mostert, a critical part of the Dolphins' offensive identity, has been productive when given space, but the lack of consistent blocking has made it difficult for him to dominate against top-tier defensive fronts. Jeff Wilson Jr., who was recently activated, has shown flashes but is still finding his rhythm after coming off injured reserve. The absence of a fully healthy offensive line has also impacted the Dolphins' ability to execute McDaniel's signature outside zone runs, a staple of their game plan that requires precision and cohesion across the line. Another layer of complexity arises with the Dolphins' recent struggles in high-pressure games. The team has shown a troubling trend of underperforming against playoff-caliber opponents, raising questions about their readiness for the postseason. While their dominance against weaker teams is undeniable, their inability to rise to the occasion against elite competition has sparked criticism from both fans and analysts. This narrative has put even more pressure on McDaniel and his staff to prove that their system can succeed when it matters most. The defense, meanwhile, has stepped up in several areas, offering some relief to the offense. Led by the ever-reliable Christian Wilkins and a rejuvenated Bradley Chubb, the defensive front has consistently disrupted opposing quarterbacks. The secondary, bolstered by Xavier Howard and the emergence of young talent like Kader Kohou, has also shown promise. However, the defense's ability to sustain this level of play is inextricably linked to the offense's performance. Long drives and sustained possessions are crucial to giving the defense the rest it needs to remain effective late in games. Special teams have been another area of concern. Punter Jake Bailey and kicker Jason Sanders have faced their own inconsistencies, with missed opportunities and untimely errors adding to the team's woes. In tight games, the importance of reliable special teams cannot be overstated, and these struggles have only amplified the pressure on both the offense and defense to execute flawlessly. Looking ahead, the Dolphins' upcoming schedule doesn't offer much relief. With matchups against teams like the 49ers, Ravens, and Cowboys on the horizon, the road to the playoffs will be anything but easy. Each game presents unique challenges that will test the Dolphins' resilience and adaptability. McDaniel and his staff must find ways to address the team's shortcomings while maximizing their strengths. This includes simplifying the offensive playbook to reduce penalties and miscommunication, finding creative solutions to the injury crisis, and instilling a sense of urgency in a team that has yet to prove itself against the league's best. The fans, understandably, are eager for answers. The Dolphins have shown flashes of brilliance this season, and their potential to be a contender is undeniable. But potential alone won't secure a playoff berth, let alone a deep postseason run. It's time for the Dolphins to translate their promise into consistent, high-level performance. Now, Dolphins Nation, it's your turn. Do you believe this team has what it takes to overcome these challenges and make a statement in the postseason? What adjustments do you think McDaniel and the team need to make to turn things around? Drop your thoughts and let's dive into this discussion. The Miami Dolphins face a critical juncture in their season, grappling with injuries, inconsistencies, and mounting pressure to prove themselves against elite competition. While the offense, led by Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, has shown explosive potential, struggles in the offensive line and costly penalties have hindered their rhythm. The defense, bolstered by Christian Wilkins and Xavier Howard, continues to step up, but sustained success hinges on complementary football. Special teams miscues add another layer of concern as the team prepares for a tough schedule with playoff implications. Coach Mike McDaniel must address these challenges head-on, finding solutions to injury gaps and re-establishing the team's identity in high-pressure games. With upcoming matchups against top-tier opponents, the Dolphins' resilience will be tested. Fans are eager for this talented roster to rise to the occasion and deliver on its promise. Now, Dolphins Nation, do you believe this team has what it takes to make a deep postseason run? Let us know your thoughts.